What's going on, guys? Coach Chris Speck, the wise guy on Instagram. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, we're live here. We are on YouTube. If you are joining us, I'll wait a little bit here for some of the people who saw me post earlier on Instagram to come join me over here on YouTube. I'll wait for you guys to show up. Once you get in the room, say hi. What's going on, Coach? And we'll get started. If you're watching this video after the fact and you have any questions about what we talk about today, we're going to have a discussion. I'll talk a little bit about selling on Amazon just so people who maybe don't know what selling on Amazon is about. I'll kind of be really quick about that and the basics on how you can make yourself some extra cash selling on Amazon. And then I'll go into specifically what this conversation is going to be about, and that is about Amazon advertising and how you can do things to increase your sales. Like, I have a bag full of methods and tricks and hacks. We're going to specifically hone into what Amazon offers because it's easy, it's simple, especially for new people. But there's also some advanced ways that you can work your Amazon advertising feature so that you can collectively make some decent money from your sales of, say, your retail arbitrage products or your private label products or whatever it is that you're selling on there. So if you have any questions, I'll do a Q&A at the end of this, and I'll answer some questions kind of throughout or during this discussion. Of course, it's a discussion, so type your questions in the comment section, and when I see them pop up, I'll do my best to answer those. So let me just get over to my live stream here so that I can see any of the comments or questions that come through. Just give me a second here. All right. Top chat. Let's go to live chat. Say something when you're in the room. Just say, hey, where you're from, what's your name, that type of stuff. So yeah, so Amazon, what is Amazon? Amazon is obviously a big company, if not the biggest company right now, maybe head to head with Walmart, but they're definitely the biggest company online. You should know who they are by now. They've been around since the early 90s, and they have a lot of different business models, but why people like myself like Amazon is because you can be a regular person with an interest in being an entrepreneur, and you can jump on Amazon and start a business up, almost like what buy and sell was, Craigslist is, but you can literally start your own store on Amazon, sell products on Amazon, ship your products to Amazon, or just distribute your products from your home. And that's really what Amazon is all about. So what I tell people is there's a few business models. My two favorite are retail arbitrage, and what that is selling brand name products that you know very well and other people know very well, or obscure brands that maybe have some sort of niche popularity, but you're selling other brands that you can source wholesale and get the distribution rights for, that you can source on discount, clearance, that you have the eligibility to sell and obviously the okay to sell, and trending and hot products as well. Doesn't necessarily need to be on sale, but you can find some of the hottest products at certain times of the year that will actually have a higher resale value on Amazon because they're so popular. And for whatever reason, you know, people who live in remote areas shop on Amazon quite a bit. People who who find convenience to shop online, who don't like going into big stores and discount shopping and wasting their time. There's so many reasons why people buy, but then at the end of the day, you're selling because people are buying. So retail arbitrage is that it's in the business of selling other brands. And then there's another private label which is pretty fun if you're into creating a brand. If you have a certain favorite, whether you're into if you're a lady and you're into beauty, or if you're a guy and you're into sports, or if you're a dog lover or a cat lover and you're into pets, or if you're a do-it-yourself type of person and you're into home and decor, or whatever the case may be, and you have kind of a brand that you want to create, you have a passion for something, you can create your own brand, which is a hugely popular way to sell on Amazon, but you can create your own brand. You can find some products that you want to sell that look like, or that actually, you don't have to look like, but that actually have you've calculated kind of the demand for that product. You know it's really popular. You can then source that product, get that product branded, come up with your own brand, trademark that brand if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can trademark that brand. And you can resell your own brands on your Amazon storefront. You can create the listing from scratch. You can create the features and benefits. You can create the images, however you want to brand your product. And then you can run advertising. You can start up Facebook pages and Instagram pages and whatever. You can create a whole company for your own brand. So that business model is private label. And when I first started selling on Amazon, I started in the private label business model because that's what I was taught to do. And I was taught a little bit of retail arbitrage. And a lot of people who watch my YouTube channel know me actually more for retail arbitrage and less for private labels. So, well, it depends. If you watch all my old stuff, it's mainly private label. But if you watch a lot of my new stuff, it's retail arbitrage. So I do a lot of both. But obviously I also do coaching, and I have a YouTube channel, and I have an Instagram feed, and I'm building a couple brands. I'm building a brand that I sell on Amazon. I do extremely well with my private label brands. I have upwards 10 products that are private label that I've branded, I've sourced from China, I've sent to Amazon direct. And then I have my personal brand for a company that I started, a basketball company, as well as my personal brand as in my name, Coach Chris Beck, the wise guy. So there's kind of a few things that I like to do. All for the most part, all came out of starting an Amazon business. So my private label products do extremely well, make me a ton of money, probably represent upwards 80% of my income in this world. The other 20% comes from things like retail arbitrage, coaching, maybe not 80%. My course does extremely well as well because it's only $100, 10 hours of content. Changing the name to the 10-hour ABS, Amazon Business Startup. 10 hours of content to teach everybody how to sell on Amazon. The link is in the description below. If you're interested in starting your business, definitely for $100 you can't go wrong. I am very detailed and organized in the process and systematic in how you would literally follow it from step 1 through to step 6 for all the different modules and launch your business. So once you've launched your business, you're going to want to learn, obviously, how to increase your sales. And so that's what we're going to kind of spend most of our time discussing right now. So yeah, say hi if you're in the room. If you have any questions about what we're going to talk about, you want to know, hey, Chris, how do I run a PPC ad? How do I run a pay-per-click promotion for toys that's not so costly? How do I run an ad on my niche products and target a certain audience? How do I target a certain keywords? What's the best way to target different keywords? What do I recommend? All that type of stuff. So we'll kind of try to go over my steps to running pay-per-click. And like I said, stop me asking any questions if you have any questions about pay-per-click. So let's do it a few ways. I'll talk first about retail arbitrage and the type of ads that I run on my retail arbitrage products. I run 4 different kinds of pay-per-click ads. Okay, the first one I focus on is automatic broad keywords. Automatic broad keywords. Okay, and what an automatic campaign is, excuse me, not broad, so that you don't have the option there, but an automatic campaign. So that's the first campaign that I run. And a lot of people will do this. A lot of experienced Amazon sellers will do this as well. I like to run an automatic campaign, which is a campaign on a product or a set of products that Amazon chooses based on the information in the listing, the words in the listing, the words in the back end. Amazon chooses the words that when people search in their Amazon store, your product will show up for. So Amazon does all the choosing of the keywords that will populate your ad automatically for that type of campaign. So why do I start with an automatic campaign? Pretty simple. For most of people who are new, it doesn't take any thinking at all. All you have to do is you have to choose how much you want to spend per day, how much you want to have your bid max out at. Okay, so your per day spend for an automatic campaign could be $5. It could be, I think the lowest you can go is $1. So let's say it's $1. You could put $1 per day, and you could schedule it for 10 days, a month. You could have no end date. You could put it $5 a day, 50, 20, 100, whatever you want to do. Okay? Don't worry right now about, scared. What do you mean, Chris? How much money? Like, a lot of people get freaked out when they think $5 a day on an advertisement. We'll get into that in a second here. So you get to choose how much you want to spend per day, and then you get to choose how much you want to max your bid out when people. So it's a little bit of a competition with other sellers who are selling maybe the same product or product. Let's just say toys. So if the word toys is typed in, obviously that's a very broad keyword. It's a very expensive keyword to rank for. And by rank, what I mean is this. If you have a toy and you send it to Amazon and you do a search, let's just say it's a Paw Patrol toy, doesn't matter, whatever dog, and you do a search for it, you may not be able to find your toy until page 20, your actual listing. Just depending on the popularity of that toy, it might not be the most popular toy. So rank is what page does that toy show up? How popular is it? So Amazon rank their products based on popularity. Obviously, number 1 being very popular, the most popular in its category, 100,000 or whatever the case may be, being a lot less popular. And that's important because rank tells you how much sales it'll sell on a daily basis or a monthly basis or an annual basis. The higher the rank, the less sales. The lower the rank, the more sales. Give you an example. In toys, in Canada, number one rank toy on average sells between 1,500 and 2,500 units per month. In the US, a number one ranked toy sells on average between 7,000 and 15,000 units per month, depending on the season. Right now we're in the fourth quarter. We're close to Christmas. It's probably upwards that number. I'd have to double check. But so that's what rank is. So now, why do we use pay-per-click? Why I use pay-per-click, especially when I'm doing retail arbitrage and I'm buying really high-ranked products, possibly with a lot of profit behind them that I can get for really cheap. So say I can buy a product for $3, but on Amazon it's reselling for $25, minus a couple fees. I may make $10, $12 on that product after everything. I want to run an ad because one thing about that product is it may have a really high rank. It may be ranked like 114,000, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means there's not much demand for the product, but you can create demand by moving it up the rank system, as in getting impressions of your listings. This is why impressions are so important. What an impression is it's a view or a vision where someone actually will see the listing. Right now, if you look on your screen, is there anything being advertised to you? That would be an impression. So you can have hundreds of thousands of impressions, or you can have just a couple dozen impressions, just depending on the product. So impressions are really important. So now, why I run PPC advertising on my toys, and I run it a few. So we're just talking about the very first one, the most basic, which is an automatic campaign, $5, $10 a day, is just the number I'll set it at. Don't be nervous to set a $5 campaign or a $10 campaign. I'll tell you the truth. I set $100 campaigns. What I'll talk about next is what is the most important is the amount that you want to put your bid at. Okay, so the amount that you want to put your bid at is the most important when you're running a basic automatic campaign. Whether I have one toy that I want to focus on and run a campaign on that one toy, or I just want to run a campaign on like 20 toys all together under one campaign, I can do either or. I'll give you a couple examples here on how I like to do two different variations on that. So the first type of ad is if I have a profitable toy that I bought for cheap, I bought a few of them, maybe I bought 6 of them, I bought them for $3, I can make $15 a toy if they sell, I just need to get some impressions on that toy. I'm going to run a targeted automatic campaign on that toy. I'm going to probably put it at $5 or $10. I'll monitor it at first to see how much of that daily budget I spend. But I'll put my budgeted per click at $1. Okay? Sometimes I'll fluctuate that between 50 cents and $1. But if I'm targeting one toy that I just have a good idea that it's going to sell, it's going to do well, I think there's value, I'm going to put my budget at $5. I'm going to put my pay-per-click bid at 50 cents to $1, somewhere between there, between 50 cents and $1. If you're nervous about spending a lot, lower your bid to 50 cents. Again, when people will click on your ad, you may win that bid at 25 cents. It just depends on other people who are bidding on the same keyword that people typed in, whether they're doing manual or automatic campaigns. It depends what they set their bid at versus you. And it's a bid process, and it's just going to scale up until you outbid that person. And it may stop at 40 cents, it may stop at 23 cents, it may stop at 55, 75, or you may reach $1 and the other person outbids you, and then you don't pay anything because they outbid you. Obviously, if you're winning the bid every time at $10, you're winning the bid, you're going to make, you're going to not necessarily make money, but you're going to get that click. And that click is important. The conversion rates, and I don't want to get too detailed on that right now, but that click is important to get people onto your listing. Most of the people who are going to click, for the most part, are serious. They're interested. They're going to click on your listing, your sponsored listing, and then they're going to see, obviously, your product. As soon as they click on your listing, as long as you, again, this is kind of a little more information, but for most of the advanced sellers who are in here, obviously, to run PPC, you need to have buy box. You need to own the buy box. So that is basically, what am I going to say? A contingency for running pay-per-click. But most people know that. What the buy box is you just got to have the best price. Okay, you just have to have the best price. If you don't have the best price, your pay-per-click ad is not even in the function. So if you have any questions about that, hit me up in a message. I'll answer that stuff later. What's going on, Nicole? Good to see you. My kids think that will be a big selling toy, but they also agree that with me that it sounds like babies on a bad day. Oh, damn, looks like I'm ungated in those. Nice. Surprise unicorns, any thoughts? Poopsie? Yeah, Poopsie is cool. I see what you're talking about. Saw those at Costco. My wife and I were looking at them. And see, what's interesting about those is if you just run a search on Poopsie, like the unicorn, for example, you're going to see multiple listings. You're going to see some low-ranked listings at around less than 1,000, I think, right now. And then you're going to see some 10,000 ranked listings. The low-ranked listings have no money in them. I think they're selling for the same or less than what you can get them at certain stores. But the higher-ranked 10K, which is still low, is actually doing really well. And I think that one's making people like $10 a sale or something like that. I looked at them. I opted out. I only opt out because at the end of the day, there is a stronger listing for that particular character. So I wasn't going to kind of tie up my money and wait for the sucker to buy the wrong listing. Sometimes that works out, but what people do is if they buy the expensive one and then all of a sudden they go, shit, it's on for less. They got 30 days to return it, so. So automatic campaign, basic bid, basic daily budget. Run that ad. Beginners, you should only run that ad for 7 to maximum 14-day periods. You'll learn that automatic campaigns assist you in running successful manual campaigns because with an automatic campaign, Amazon is going to give you, in return for running that ad, they're going to give you a bunch of metrics and analytics on words that were searched, that you came up for, that you spent your money on, people clicked on them for. You're going to see cost per click as low as 1 cent that you were charged to upwards $1 or $2, maybe even higher, just depending on the product that you're advertising, and the popularity of the products. So, but it's a super valuable way to learn what products are hot, what keywords are hot, and what keywords are not. Okay. It leads to the second form of advertising. Again, this is basic, which is a manual campaign, and doing a manual campaign based on your automatic campaign feedback. Okay, so if you ran a listing for toys, I don't know, pick a toy, doesn't matter, Lego, okay? And obviously the word Lego is going to be really expensive, but you may have like some more long tail keywords, which is a longer 2 or 3 words strung together. You may find that there are some words in there, like maybe it's just a specific Lego Star Wars battleship or Lego Trooper or whatever, seems to bring up your listing when people are typing in a longer tail keyword, and you come up and people are buying from you. And you may find like, shit, people have clicked on like 40 different words I've come up for. I've paid for all these 40 different keywords, random amounts. You have your spend, but these 4 people seem to be buying off those. So those are the 4 you're going to collect, and you're going to use those 4 in your manual campaign, and you're just going to target people who are searching for your 4 keywords. That's the basics of running a basic manual campaign. It allows you to put in the keywords that you want, and you can utilize the feedback that Amazon gives you off your automatic campaign. So you would basically go run a report and then just obviously learn what all those categories mean. Pay attention primarily to your cost per click and your ACoS, which is your advertising cost of sale. Your percentage, it's a percentage. And the ACoS, for simple terms, is you want that percentage to be lower than the profit you're making. So if you're selling a product you bought a product for $5 and you're selling it for $25 and the fees are whatever, the profit on it, let's just say the profit at the end of the day is $10, your ACoS should be lower than 30%, okay? Because 30% of $25 is about $7.50. Okay, so your ACoS should be lower than the profit that you're making at the end of the day. You obviously want your ACoS to be really low. That percentage, I try to target less than 20%. But you gotta remember, at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're drumming up sales. You likely probably wouldn't have gotten those sales without drumming them up using advertising. So it's a service you got to pay for. It's also increased sales. The increase in sales that I get from running my ads is pretty significant in comparison to not running an ad. And I do these tests all the time. I'll run an ad for a week and not run an ad for a week. Then I'll run an ad again and not run an ad again. I change my ads all the time. I run multiple ads. Probably have about 15 to 20 running right now. Different types of ads. I have on my basic private label product, my best selling one, I have about 5 different ads running on them. The reason I want to run multiple ads is I want to see where my point of no return is, where my loss starts to, I just strategize. I'm just trying to figure out a bunch of things about running multiple ads on the same product. I run different types of ads. So those first 2 types of advertising, again, for most of you guys that are in here right now, are not new. So we'll pass on this. We'll move up to a little bit more advanced stuff or kind of tricks and hacks that you can do right now in Q4. The third strategy I use is I run expensive automatic campaigns. Okay, so beginners will run really inexpensive, $5 daily budget, and it's primarily solely for the data to learn what people are searching for when it comes to their product. Now, that's more important to learn what people are searching for when you're doing private label, okay? Not necessarily as important when you're doing toys or selling other people's brands, unless you're going to run some manual campaigns. I personally don't run too many manual campaigns on popular brands. It is just too expensive at the end of the day. So I will generally do this. My third way of advertising is high cost per day ads. So sometimes I'll run like a $400 per day budget to upwards of $1,000 per day budget. But here's the trick, guys. Here's what the trick is. When you're advertising, let's just take the category of toys because this is the toy season. This is my first trick. If I have 300 different SKUs in toys, you have the option to select all of your toys or all of your products in general if you want. If you want to run an ad on all of your products at once, you can do that. You can actually run an ad on all of your products at once. So I'll run a high number automatic campaign, 400. Maybe I'm feeling lucky and I'll run a $1,000 budget, but I'll usually run about a $400 budget. But what I'll do is I'll actually run a really, really low cost bid cost. So I may run my bid cost to a maximum of 25 cents, but I'll actually run two different ads. I'll run a 5-cent bid cost, okay? I call it a slip. Some people, I just want impressions when I'm running really low bid costs, but I'll have a high budget because from my experience, I don't want my campaign to ever run out of money when I'm running low bid costs. Because the only time I'm ever gonna win is when someone slips and just clicks my listing. So I'm trying to capture those people who just, for whatever reason, see my listing and just click it. So I'm gonna run a 5 cents or a 10-cent bid cost, but I'm gonna run a high budget. And what I notice is I usually hover between 3 and 5% ACoS, but I still get a pretty good amount of sales from that particular campaign. And I'll name my campaign, I'll give it some sort of name, so when I see it in my reports, I know exactly, okay, that was a 400 at 5 cents, okay? So you do have to name your campaign so that on your reports you can actually see specifically what clicks represent what ad you're running, okay? So make sure that you're doing that when you're running any kind of ad where you're trying to get slips or some type of action. It's almost like fishing. When you put $400 out, it's like putting all of your products in the water, and there's really, I don't know, there's like a really, it's just a low percent that you're gonna make a sale, but for whatever reason, I'm seeing sales come through that have just, and really why I like doing that. So again, to me, this is the equivalent of running like a $10 high click ad, because I'm actually running it for more products. I'm running it for all of my SKUs, and I'm running it at $400 for 5 or 10 cents. Sometimes I'll up it to 15 or 20, but I'll never go past 25 cents, because when you're at 25 cents, you just see a lot more clicks, a lot more clicks, a lot more clicks. And obviously you have it at $400. So, and you're probably not even thinking about your advertising once you create your campaign. So you're not monitoring it. So you don't really want it to go all of a sudden you're spent, $400 in that one day. That wouldn't be the right thing. But at 5 cents, you're going to lose 95% of your bids. You're going to lose 99% of your bids. But you may just get that 1% or 2%. So that's just a great ad to run. Okay, so that's a 400 at 5 cent ad that I like to run for all of my products under automatic. The next one I like to do is I like to run. Now, I have some cool niche products. I have some cool private label products. Some of my best sellers, my number 1 and my number 7, are my 2 best sellers. I'll run $2,500 per day ads. Again, when I'm running $2,500 ads per day, for my number 1 product, again, I control my bids. So I'm maxing it out at 50 cents to $1 on a $2,500 bid. But it's a manual campaign. It's not an automatic campaign when I'm at $2,500. It's a manual campaign. And if you look on my Instagram, you'll actually see that $2,500 ad right now. It's a manual campaign. And if you look at it, it's actually got a really low ACoS at like 3%. And the sales, I mean, the product cost me 50 cents. I bundled it. Cost me about $2. The shipping fees, the FBA fees are relatively low, probably about $6-7, not even, probably about $6-7. At the end of the day, I'm selling it for 19. I'm certain I'm making about $11. But I'm getting about, on that campaign, I think it's upwards about $1,000 in retail sales on, 3%. Not even. I don't even think it's at 3%. So that's a $2,500 manual campaign that's targeted. Now, here's what I do with that one. I target as many freaking keywords as I can. And I actually use Jungle Scout. Let's see if I can jump on here for you guys. So, and if you guys don't have Jungle Scout, if you're thinking about doing private label, or if you're even thinking about doing, if you're doing retail arbitrage, this is good if you're running PPC. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen here. Bam. Let's see here. Don't mind me. I'm gonna go into this OBS. First, let me open up what I want to open up. But I'm just gonna open up Jungle Scout. Jungle Scout. So yeah, so I'll run a manual campaign. I'll target a $2,500 manual campaign, and I'm gonna maximize my targeted ads to as many ads as keywords as possible. Now you can do 2 words. You can just use all the suggested keywords. It's like running an automatic campaign, but not allowing Amazon to use the words, to come up the words. You're gonna actually specifically use the words that are suggested. You can do that, but I actually like to use Keyword Scout on Jungle Scout. So let me just share this here. Give me a second. We'll go bam. There we go. So now if you guys can see my screen, I think you can. Pretty sure. I don't know if I can zoom in here. Do I need to zoom in? Whatever. If you can't see it, sorry. I'm not the best at using this right now. I love my old way of doing this, but with this MacBook and using these other features, I got to kind of practice. So take a product. It doesn't matter. I always use the example of stability ball. There's so many different keywords for stability ball. Stability ball. Okay, we're on keyword. So we got stability ball. I have 200. So why I love this feature, and it's really opened up pay-per-click for me and experimenting a lot, is one, it shows me the match volume for that particular product. So 8,100 impressions, 17,000 searches, 8,000 searches a month for this particular keyword. And then here's all the kind of variations. And they don't just use the primary name I typed in. So if I typed in stability, you're not just seeing keywords with the word stability. You're seeing all the variations. And that's what you need. And this is included in the Pro, I think. So, so now I get how many? 2,900 keyword results. Okay. Flexible seating. I mean, I'm getting random things. I'm getting BOSU, which is a type of fitness ball. It's a half of a ball. Fitness ball, yoga chair. So if people are buying the yoga chair, they always want the stability of the ball. If I'm selling yoga chairs, you're going to see the word stability balls coming up. Here's why having all these keywords is great. So I can then export this. It'll show up here. I can check it. Opening up in numbers. So there it is. So now I can go and run. Let's see here. I can copy all of these, copy them all, and I can paste them all into my Amazon campaign. So I don't want that. I just want to close it. No, just delete this bad boy. There we go. So now I have 2,900 keywords that I can launch into my manual Amazon campaign. I'll jump back into my mug. Okay, we'll switch it up here. Ta-da. There we go. So yeah, so I can jump into to my manual campaign, and I can run a 20. The reason I put it at 2,500 is there's been a lot of talk, obviously, about algorithms and what Amazon is doing on their side. If they're doing anything for people who are willing to spend a certain amount of money, then I'm trying to capture that. To be honest, I don't know if I've noticed it, but I still notice good sales, low ACOS, low spend by doing this. But really, what it's about for me is by doing this third type of marketing, where again it's a high value, it's a controlled bid. Okay, so whether I'm doing a 50-cent bid or a 25-cent bid, I'm doing a massive amount of keywords. Okay, so as you said, 2,900 keywords. I'm going to paste that into my where you can actually choose your own keywords. Now, 50, 60%, maybe even more, maybe 70 or 80% of those keywords are going to be almost pointless. They're not going to have any history. I just leave them in there. I don't bother deleting them. I will delete some of the keywords that are too broad. But here's what I'll do as well is I'll run a specific PPC ad with all those keywords as a broad match. I'll do the same thing with all those keywords as an exact match. I won't do a phrase. I don't use phrase all that often. Phrase cost, for whatever reason, a lot more. I do have to play with it. I do have to do more research on phrase, but phrase costs more money, or from what I hear, it costs more money. So I stay away from it. But that's a unique way of doing a campaign. You can probably find some other, like Google AdWords would be a great place to get your keywords from if you don't have Jungle Scout. But you can obviously jump on Google AdWords and get your keywords there. But that's my third way of doing it, and I'll do it for various things. Then my fourth way of doing pay-per-click is that I will obviously hone in to my automatic campaigns, print out the search term reports, find the keywords that are hot for me with the lowest ACOS. Usually I want to find all the keywords that run between 1% or whatever, 0.1%, if you will. 0.1%. So all the zeros, I'm going to delete them. I'm going to go from 0.1% to 30%. So in that range, my margin, let's just say it's 22%. I use Kibly. Kibly tells me it's 22% based on all my stuff. I'm at 22%. But I want to go above that. I feel that there's something about selling at a loss sometimes. Spending a little bit more. It just, for me, increases my volume of sales. So I don't mind. Like at 30%, I'm probably still not losing money depending on the product that's being bought. But because I have all these toys, I think there's losses there that create this little bit of a incorrect number. But yeah, so I mean that's just a targeted campaign. Now on that targeted campaign, what I'm going to do with my budget's probably going to be around, depending on the product. It's I just spend a lot more time analyzing exactly what I'm trying to spend. So if it's my number one product and I have 5 to 10 keywords I want to target that fall under the 1 to 30%, I'm going to use those keywords only. I am going to Amazon is going to give you a bid range. Okay, their bid range let's just say it's 50 cents to $1.72. They're going to give you a suggested bid. Often I'll use their suggested bid if now, and I spend the most time almost every day looking at this particular metric, looking at my marketing, but looking at my number 4 way of doing it. So my specific ads, my targeted 1 to 30% ads. And I may run 2 or 3 different ones for the same product. Again, I'll run a separate one for broad, a separate one for exact. I may run a combination of both all in one. I just want as much impressions as possible. I don't know if Amazon just takes it all as independent and just starts running them all. To me, it's just like having salespeople out there. I want my sales force to be large. So if I have to pay for multiple sales support, it's just like $15 an hour guys are out there selling my product. So that's kind of how I look at it. But I focus my 1 to 30% on keywords that are in that range. My bids are all the suggested ones. I maintain those bids every day. They go up, they come down. They always are changing. So I will always monitor it. If it goes down, I'll lower them. I'll always stay with the suggested. If a product is selling and the ACOS is really low, and let's just say one of these keywords, stability ball, has made me $1,000. I've only spent 15% on it. I am going to increase my suggested bid to the high side of what Amazon recommends. So if it's between, say, low side it's $1 and the high side it's $2, the suggested is $1.50, and I was at $1.50, I'm going to up it to $2 and try to always win every sale for that particular one. It does mean, all this it means is this, 15% ACOS means I have 15% margin to spend, okay? So I don't mind increasing that one to get those extra sales. As long as you know what your maximum is, your maximum might not be 30%. Your maximum range that you want to target your most successful money at, in your most successful ads, or your most successful keywords, it may be 25%. You may only be looking at the ACOS that is 25% to just above zero. Okay, maybe 22%, whatever it is. And then if all the ones that are half of that are at 10%, I like to increase those. So if it's at 10% or less, I like to increase those to max bids. And that's where I like to spend my extra money winning those particular sales. That's just my way of doing it right now. Who knows? That might change. I'm just seeing really good sales from that style of advertising. So that was me yapping for 48 minutes. Nicole, thanks for hanging out and chatting with everybody in the chat. Meme, they're controlling my life. Burn them all. That's so funny. You just picked up a lot of funky dance paws. Nice. I see they sell well in the .com, but a little sluggish in Canada. Nice. I'm betting it's a lack of FBA sellers on the .ca that's dragging it down. Should I just post and see how it goes first, or should I spend a little time submitting edits to optimize the listing? Yeah, I always optimize your listing. I always optimize my listings. Even if they're doing bad or good, I'm just always trying to submit edits to optimize my listings. It doesn't look like Amazon's been taking a lot of edits because I don't know what's going on. They're just not taking a lot of edits. So I've been, but I still do it. I'll still do probably about 5 a day. I don't, that's not a lot. 5 a day probably takes me 20 minutes. Run the pay-per-click, $100 a day, but 5 cents on that listing. 5 cents max bid, and just put it up, like, even if you were to if you didn't want to put it at 100, put it at 20, but put it at 5 cents and just have it running. Always have that running. You want impressions on your listing. That's what I'm finding I'm getting with a low pay-per-click and then an open budget, is I'm just increasing my impressions and I'm getting clicks just on that type of stuff. Yeah, I just call them slip clicks because I don't think people mean to click the listing. So $100 and up on eBay. I started stocking early this month. Yeah. Y'all love your eBay. I'm terrible at eBay. I hate shipping things. Does eBay have FBA, fulfillment by FB eBay? If you run PPC on a listing that I'm not the only seller, do the click-throughs sell my item? It'll sell your item, Nicole, obviously if you own the buy box. You can only run PPC if you own the buy box. So, yeah. It will not be effective if you don't have the buy box. Need to get out. That's funny. You guys are funny. So yeah, that was just my rant. There was a few people in here probably going like, what is this guy talking about? He's just talking. I have some more advertising tricks that I do. Obviously, this is just focused on Amazon for a lot of people who listen to my Instagram or my story or some of my old videos, or if you've taken my course. I focus on Facebook pages. I do some Facebook pages, and I do some Instagram pages, or whatever you want to call them, specific to like broad keywords based on the products that I sell. And I'm just running ads in them. Same thing, Instagram ads and all that type of stuff. So that really works well. It drives traffic to my products. I do some random unboxings on another channel with my daughter. She'll blow up a balloon and get 15,000 views. So we were selling a balloon. She blew it up, and then we would throw like our Amazon link in there, affiliate link or whatever, for the balloon. So that's 15,000 people watching her video. It's like one of my #1 videos on my channel. But we have like her own channel for that. We do it once. The thing about doing videos is you do it once and then that's it. You just have to make one video. It just has to be 5 minutes long. But once you do it once, it will keep going, and people will comment about it. And with the convenience of the link, I don't know. I'm not the best at figuring that out, but I'm pretty sure people have bought the product based on that. I can actually see, I can actually see sales because I do get affiliate sales all the time from the Amazon links that I'll throw up. But I mean, I threw a little bit of that Facebook marketing, YouTube marketing in my course, how to create a page, all that type of stuff. Yeah. So what's going on other than that? Other than my rant about PPC, I just wanted to kind of put out there that people should be running their pay-per-click. My sales have probably increased 10% minimum because of the pay-per-click ads I'm running. 10% at least minimum, which is pretty high considering what level I'm at. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. That was 55 minutes of me blabbing. Any ideas, or if you guys have any anything you want me to specifically make a video on or do a chat on, let me know, and I'll do my best to throw that down. I haven't been on all that much is because I was kind of running out of like stuff to to talk about specifically. But it's cool hanging out here with you guys, and you guys hanging out with me for the entirety of my live stream. I I have some Canon printers if anybody's interested in a Canon printer. I got because Canon gated me, and most of you might know that Canon gated me. I was a huge Canon seller on Amazon, and I was making a killing. They gated me. I had to take all my printers back. It was one of those terrible experiences. But it's funny, man. I took them all back. I started selling them on Facebook Marketplace. I started selling them through a slip. I don't know. I call it a slip listing, but like another listing that was created on Amazon, but you can only do fulfillment by merchant. I sell a lot there, but I'll lose money on those sometimes because you got to create your own shipping rates and stuff like that. But when it's locally, I'll literally go deliver it myself and keep the shipping money. But yeah, I just sold one today on Facebook Marketplace for like 120 bucks. And then yeah. So I got a few things going on, but I got like 8 printers left. I got to get rid of them. What else would be cool to talk about? What else would be cool to talk about if I go on tomorrow? That would be appealing. Maybe I should do a live from in the store. Maybe I should do a live from in the store. On Sunday, I'm headed out of town, Nicole. I'm going to Penticton. My mom is moving from Penticton to Surrey. She's in Seattle right now. So I got to go and move all of her stuff. My brother and I and our kids, 2 of our kids, are going to go. We're going to drive to Penticton, load her up, her stuff up, and bring it all the way back to Surrey and unload her. So it's going to be like a lot of driving. So that's going to be fun. I was in Walmart today. Man, other than trending products in Walmart, I don't know why sellers like Walmart. I cannot figure out. That fucking place is huge. The place is too big. They got all the categories. Like, they got everything in there. But I cannot spot deals. Yeah, and I tell everybody, scan everything. But I'm overwhelmed when I'm in a store because everyday low prices, that sucks. Their clearance, I was in their clearance for their toys. Barf. Obviously, everyone knows I bought like hundreds of LOL toys. So I have a bunch of LOL toys they're just selling. But those are just regular price stuff that sell for more on Amazon. I don't know why people like Walmart, especially Walmart in Canada. In the US, different story. Canada, I don't know, man. Nicole, did you hear about, I don't know, did you hit up the dollar sale, library sale that was today? You know me, I'm not really a used book person. I don't sell a lot of those. Oh, Nicole, you sent me something. Meetup. Think we can do that early November. I'm free on the 3rd evening. Brown's Social House Brewery. Yeah! In New West. This looks like a good place. It's right on a SkyTrain, only 35 minutes drive for me. That's faster than getting to Surrey most of the time. I'd be down for that. Let's I'm gonna throw that out there. Let's look at that. I'll type you back. I would be down for that. There you go. Early November. All right. So whoever wants to meet up, we're gonna do a meetup, hangout, social house, the social house, Brown Social House in New West. Get some grub, chat, have fun, spread the word. All right, y'all. Have a good night. It's almost midnight. We'll wait till the clock strikes 12, and then we'll head out. Let me know in the comment section below what we're going to talk about tomorrow. And we'll do that. Coach Respect, the wise guy on Instagram. Peace.